My son's kindergarten teacher asked me to come in for a quick chat. I didn't realize she meant she needed a witness. It started 3 weeks before the meeting. My wife and I had been arguing more than usual. Quiet, controlled arguments, the kind married couples specialize in, where voices stay low, but the temperature drops 20 degrees. We thought we were being careful. We thought our 5-year-old Lucas was oblivious. We were wrong. His teacher, Ms. Farrell, opened with, "Lucas is a wonderful, bright kid." That sentence alone told me everything. Nobody starts with a compliment, unless the next part is going to hurt. She slid a sheet of paper across the desk. It was a crayon drawing from Family Feelings Week, an assignment where kids drew something that showed how their home felt lately. Most kids drew sunshine and soccer balls and dogs. Lucas drew a house divided directly down the middle. One side had me on a couch, the other had my wife in the kitchen. In the middle, a tiny figure with a backpack, him, standing in the crack. I didn't say anything for a long moment. Ms. Farrell folded her hands. He presented it to the class. I asked him to explain it. She paused. He said, and I'm quoting directly, "My dad sleeps on the couch now because he forgot my mom's feelings." I felt my face go completely still, the way your body does when it's deciding whether to laugh or collapse. She wasn't finished. I asked him what he meant. He said, "They don't fight loud, they fight quiet," which is worse because at least loud means they're still talking. A 5-year-old. 5, she continued. Another child asked him if he was sad. He thought about it for a second and said, "Not yet, but I'm keeping my shoes by the door just in case." That one broke something open in my chest. I drove home slowly. My wife was in the kitchen when I walked in. She looked at my face and immediately knew something had happened. I put the drawing on the counter between us. She stared at it for a long time without speaking. "He said he's keeping his shoes by the door," I told her, "in case he needs to leave fast." She pressed her fingers to her mouth. We had been so focused on being quiet about it, on protecting him from the noise, that we hadn't considered what the silence itself looked like from 3 feet off the ground. A kid doesn't need to hear the argument. He feels the weather change. He notices which parent leaves the room when the other enters. He counts the nights the couch has a blanket on it. He drew the crack. He saw the crack before we'd even admitted to ourselves there was one. That night, after Lucas was in bed, my wife and I sat at the kitchen table and actually talked. Not the careful, controlled, temperature-dropping version, but the real one. The kind that's messy and goes too long and covers things you've been stepping around for months. We didn't solve everything. We didn't pretend to, but we stayed in the room. The next morning, Lucas came downstairs and found us both at the table drinking coffee. He stopped in the doorway and looked at us with this expression I still think about. Cautious, calculating, the way a kid looks when he's deciding whether something is safe. Then he walked to the closet by the front door, picked up his sneakers, and carried them back to his room. He didn't say anything. He didn't have to. 3 months later, we started seeing a couples therapist. Not because one session fixed us, but because a 5-year-old's crayon drawing made it impossible to keep pretending the crack wasn't there. Ms. Farrell sent home a new drawing last week. Same house. No line down the middle. 3 figures in the same room. He drew the sun coming through the window. I have it on the refrigerator. I'm keeping it there until I no longer need the reminder of what it cost us to almost miss it.